The air inside the jetway was thick with the synthetic scent of cheap industrial cleaner and the stale, anxious energy of a full flight. But it was the small, cold touch on my forearm that truly snapped me out of my pre-vacation haze. I, Elias***, was just about to step onto the plane to commence what I thought was a dream trip, a week-long luxury cruise with my fiancée, Serafina***, and her entire, sprawling, and extremely intense family, when the flight attendant, a young woman with kind but panicked eyes, leaned in so close I could feel the faint warmth of her breath, and whispered 6 words that felt like a punch to the gut, pretend you're sick and run away. Then, she gave my arm a surprisingly firm squeeze. Her eyes darted to Serafina's mother, Helga***, who was aggressively ushering us forward, and the flight attendant vanished into the cabin. I froze. I was standing on the threshold of a plane that would take me to a cruise ship, carrying a passport, a suitcase full of tropical clothes, and a ring for a woman I loved, yet a total stranger, a professional in customer service, had just risked her job to issue an urgent, life-or-death warning. The core conflict was instant and terrifying. Do I, Elias, a 35-year-old software engineer, ignore this cryptic, shocking instruction, walk onto the plane, and risk whatever unknown, potentially catastrophic fate awaits me on this family vacation? Or do I seize this bizarre, unbelievable chance at escape, stage a dramatic medical emergency right there in the narrow jetway, abandon my fiancée and her family on the runway, and flee the airport, thereby guaranteeing the immediate, brutal end of my engagement and forcing me to deal with the inevitable, destructive fallout from Serafina's incredibly powerful, and now certainly vengeful, family? Was I wrong to put blind faith in a single, desperate whisper from a stranger? Tell me honestly, would you have left the table in tears right then? Or would you have stayed, smiled, and calmly revealed the devastating truth behind her public cruelty? I mean, would you have gotten on the plane or bolted like your life depended on it? To truly grasp the sheer, desperate magnitude of that flight attendant's warning, you have to understand exactly what I was running from. My relationship with Serafina***, a stunning but intensely dependent 32-year-old artist, was, for the first 2 years, a whirlwind of passion and exclusivity. The real problems began about a year ago when she introduced me to her family. They weren't just a family, they were a dynasty***. Serafina's father, Gerhard***, ran a hugely successful international logistics firm, the kind of firm that controls ports and influences governments. But the real power was wielded by her mother, Helga***, a woman with the chilling elegance of a European countess and the iron will of a Soviet general. Helga's control over Serafina was absolute, and by extension, her control over me was immediate and terrifying. From the moment I proposed, the engagement became less about me and Serafina, and more about my initiation into the Helga system. Helga dictated the wedding date next summer, the venue a private castle in the Dolomites, the guest list which didn't include my parents, only her business partners, and the pre-wedding family bonding trip, this week-long cruise through the Mediterranean. My presence was not desired, it was required***. The reason for the trip, as I slowly began to realize, wasn't relaxation. It was a business maneuver. Gerhard had a rival, a man named Victor***, who had been chipping away at their control over a key shipping route. Helga, in her chillingly pragmatic way, had decided that Serafina needed to marry a man who could genuinely bring something strategic to the family, specifically in the tech sector, and my background as a high-level engineer made me the prime candidate for a forced partnership. The cruise, I suspected, was where they intended to arm me into signing some kind of prenuptial agreement that amounted to a *** lifetime non-compete clause *** and the forced *** transfer of all my future intellectual property ** into Gerhardt's firm. My own internal alarm bells had been screaming for weeks, but I had been too much of a coward and too blinded by my love for Serafina to listen. She had become distant, anxious, and strangely secretive. Every time I brought up the prenup, she would tear up, saying, "Mom knows best, Elias. It's just paperwork. It's about protecting the family." She was clearly terrified of Helga. The situation came to a head at the airport check-in. Helga had been hovering, clutching my ticket and my passport, claiming she was managing all the travel logistics. She only handed me my documents back in the jetway, the moment before I was to step onto the plane, giving me no time to examine them. My hands were full with a carry-on and the sudden, overwhelming pressure of the moment. And then, the whisper, ***, pretend you're sick and run away. ***. I looked back. Helga was directly behind me, her eyes boring into my back, a faint, almost predatory smile on her lips. It was clear she wanted me on that plane, isolated, cut off from my own country, my own lawyer, and my own banking accounts, so they could corner me on the open water. The flight attendant's warning, delivered with such absolute conviction, was the final piece of the puzzle. She must have overheard something, seen something, or perhaps even been a victim of the Helga system herself. She wasn't saving me from a rough flight. She was saving me from a *** trap ***. I knew I had about 30 seconds before I was forced onto the plane. I had to create a distraction, a catastrophe so immediate and undeniable that it would force the entire group to stop, scattering them long enough for me to flee. It had to be convincing, it had to be dramatic, it had to be a medical crisis. My first thought was chest pain, but that was too easy to dismiss. Vomiting was messy. Then, I remembered an obscure detail from a first aid course, a seizure, undeniable, terrifying, and requiring immediate attention. I dropped my carry-on bag, letting it hit the carpet with a thud. I clutched my head with both hands, stumbling against the wall of the jetway. Helga immediately barked, "Elias, stop fooling around, get on the plane." I ignored her. I let out a low, guttural moan, my legs beginning to buckle, and then I let myself fall to the ground, thrashing my arms and legs wildly on the carpet, making loud, ragged breathing noises. I knew I had to sell the panic. The other passengers immediately stopped, gasping. Serafina cried out, "Elias, what is it?" But it was Helga who reacted first, and worst. Her face wasn't concerned. It was ***, furious ***. Her plan was being ruined. "He is fine. He's having a panic attack. Get up," she hissed, trying to physically pull me to my feet. But the flight attendant, the one who had warned me, reappeared instantly. "Ma'am, he needs medical attention. Do not touch him. We need to call for a doctor and paramedics now," she yelled, directing her gaze pointedly at another airline employee. Her intervention was crucial. It legitimized the crisis. I continued to thrash, focusing on making my body movements look uncontrolled and terrifying. Helga tried to grab my documents. "His passport. Give me his passport." "No, ma'am. You are not his next of kin and he is seizing. Step back." The flight attendant shouted, shielding me. In the chaos, with the jetway door blocked by my seizure, and passengers screaming for help, I saw my chance. I stopped thrashing, let my body go limp, and feigned a brief period of post-seizure unconsciousness. Helga was now fully engaged in a screaming match with the airport staff about the delay, and the need for her to control my documents. I opened one eye. I grabbed my passport and ticket, which had fallen next to my hand when Helga tried to snatch them, and I shoved them deep into the front pocket of my cargo shorts. Then I opened my eyes fully, looking confused. I can't breathe," I whispered, dramatically grabbing my chest. "I need fresh air. I need to go outside, get me out of here." The airport staff, believing I was in a post-seizure, distressed state, immediately shifted their focus from containment to extraction. 2 strong ground crew members, seeing the panic in my eyes, gently helped me up. Helga was still arguing about the passport. "My bag," Serafina cried, pointing to my carry-on. "We will secure it, ma'am. Focus on your fiancé," the flight attendant instructed, her eyes meeting mine for a fraction of a second, confirming the success of the escape. The ground crew members escorted me, limp and feigning instability, past the crowd, past security, and into the main airport terminal. The moment we were past the gate, the point of no return, I knew I was free. I broke away from the ground crew with a sudden surge of adrenaline. "Thank you. I need to call my family. I just need to be alone," I gasped, stumbling away and then breaking into an outright sprint toward the nearest bathroom, leaving my carry-on bag, my fiancé, and the Helga system behind me. I sprinted into a stall, locked the door, and slumped against the wall, trembling. I was safe, but I was now an engaged man who had abandoned his fiancée and her entire family on the runway after faking a grand mal seizure. The financial and emotional nuclear fallout was about to begin. I had burned the bridge, but I had saved my life. So that's the situation I was in. I was hiding in an airport bathroom, carrying nothing but a passport and the clothes on my back, having just committed the most spectacular act of relationship sabotage imaginable. I knew Helga's wrath would be immediate and total. She would try to freeze my assets, file legal claims, and smear my name professionally. I had to disappear fast and set up a legal defense before they could even get off the plane and hire their own lawyers. My choice was terrifying. Do I immediately call Serafina from the bathroom, confess everything, and try to appeal to her love, hoping she would finally stand up to her mother? Or do I immediately call my own lawyer, initiate the necessary legal defenses against potential financial ruin, and accept the immediate, brutal loss of Serafina, knowing the entire family was toxic and the relationship was doomed anyway? Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have chosen the desperate, final call to your fiancé, or would you have chosen the immediate, surgical strike with your lawyer? Seriously, let me know what choice you would have made right there. I chose the immediate, surgical strike with my lawyer. The look on Helga's face, not of concern, but of pure fury at her ruined plan, confirmed everything. Serafina was lost anyway, merely a pawn in her mother's scheme. My priority had to be financial survival against a powerful, ruthless dynasty. I didn't call Serafina. I called my trusted friend and legal counsel, Marcus **, who specialized in corporate law and asset protection. I explained the situation in rapid-fire, almost breathless whispers from the bathroom stall, the engagement, the Helga system, the forced cruise, the non-compete suspicions, the flight attendant's warning, and the staged seizure. Marcus didn't laugh. He sounded grim. "Elias, you did the right thing. If they were planning to corner you on international waters, you needed to get off that plane. Here is the plan. Asterisk asterisk, you disappear. Asterisk asterisk, you do not answer calls or texts from anyone associated with them. You take a train far out of state. I am initiating the following actions right now. First, Marcus immediately executed the asterisk asterisk asset freeze protocol asterisk asterisk I had pre-signed, moving all my liquid assets into an irrevocable trust in the name of a shell corporation, making them legally untouchable by any hasty legal action the family might take. Second, he initiated a formal letter to Gerhardt's firm, citing concerns about coercion and undue influence, and formally asterisk asterisk withdrawing my prenuptial consent asterisk asterisk entirely. Third, he filed a temporary asterisk asterisk no contact order asterisk asterisk against Helga and Gerhardt, citing the physical coercion on the jetway and my staged medical distress as evidence of their aggressive intent. It was an offensive defense. The immediate aftermath was intense. While I was on a high-speed train heading north, watching the familiar landscape blur past me, my phone, which I had set to silent, began to explode. Hundreds of messages and dozens of voicemails poured in. Serafina was heartbroken, terrified, and confused, her messages oscillating between desperate pleas for my return and furious accusations that I had ruined her mother's entire business trip. Helga's messages were pure, concentrated venom, threats of lawsuits, claims of professional sabotage, and promises to ruin my career and my reputation. I stayed dark for a week, checking in only with Marcus, who was busy fending off the family's first salvo of legal inquiries. Because my assets were untouchable and I had preemptively filed the no-contact order and withdrawn consent, their legal grounds for immediate action were severely weakened. They could smear my name, but they couldn't touch my money or my business. The inevitable eventually happened. Serafina showed up at my old apartment, which I had already vacated. She didn't call. She showed up with a police officer, claiming I had stolen her engagement ring, which was sitting safely in a jewelry box in my apartment safe. I wasn't there, but the event confirmed that the family was fully willing to weaponize the police and the legal system against me. After 2 weeks, Marcus advised me to make my final move. I published a single, comprehensive statement online, a detailed timeline of events, the pressure, the true cost of the prenup, the coercion at the airport, and the flight attendant's warning. I even added a line directly to Serafina. The man you saw abandon you on the jetway was merely choosing life over a lifetime of servitude to your mother's business agenda. The public fallout was devastating for them, not me. While the Helga system was good at private coercion, it was terrible at public relations. The story of the mysterious seizure on the runway had already gone viral among airport staff and passengers. My statement confirmed the underlying drama: a ruthless family trying to trap a wealthy fiancé. The logistics firm faced a minor public relations crisis and a flurry of legal questions about corporate ethics. Serafina called one last time. She wasn't angry. She was quietly defeated. She confirmed everything. The cruise was indeed a high-stakes meeting to force the signing of the IP transfer agreement. She admitted she knew, but she was too afraid of her mother to stop it. She said she understood why I ran, but she couldn't forgive the abandonment. We ended the engagement, cleanly and completely. It was heartbreaking, but it was necessary. I never saw the flight attendant again, but I wrote a private, anonymous letter to the airline's CEO, detailing her courage and intervention, ensuring she received the recognition and financial reward she deserved without ever revealing my identity. I may have lost the woman I loved and incurred the hatred of a powerful family, but I protected my life's work, my sanity, and my freedom. I look back on that day not as a moment of panic, but as the moment I finally broke free from a golden cage, thanks to the 6 words whispered by a hero in a cheap uniform. Every decision I made afterwards was rooted in self-preservation, and I have absolutely no regrets about the life I saved. The cost of a staged seizure was the price of my future. Like this video if you think the flight attendant was a genuine hero. Subscribe for more stories about escaping toxic relationships and financial warfare. And please, share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section below. Do you think Serafina will ever truly break free from her mother? I'll see you all in the next story.